Today we are discussing the blog post, The Many Faces of Grief, Understanding Diverse Responses to Loss.
Right, and grief, it's such a deeply personal thing, isn't it? Our mission really is to unpack what those unexpected faces of loss can look like for you.
Exactly, because knowing about these diverse expressions is, well, it's crucial if we want to offer real support.
Yeah, moving past that sort of standard script, the idea that grief has to be tears and obvious sadness.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit.
Hmm.
We often assume mourning means like quiet sadness or maybe crying, but this blog post really highlights responses that, well, they often get misunderstood.
Totally misunderstood
Yeah.
because they just don't fit that narrow picture we have in our heads.
So what's one of the big ones the post talks about?
Well, what's fascinating is how grief can show up when maybe the connection wasn't super intense, or perhaps the whole situation is just complex, like apathy or quiet processing.
Apathy. So someone might just seem withdrawn or like they're not really affected.
Exactly. Quiet, maybe seem reserved. And the crucial thing here is that this outward appearance, it doesn't mean the internal loss isn't there. It really doesn't.
I see. So maybe they're processing internally, but it looks like indifference from the outside.
Precisely. And support in that situation, it means respecting their need for space, for quiet reflection, not pressuring them to talk about it or perform some kind of outward grief.
Right, don't force it. Okay,
Okay.
what else? What's another phase?
Then you have anger and frustration. And this one can be really tough
Tough how?
because the anger can get pointed in, well, surprising directions, sometimes at the person who died, for leaving,
Wow, okay.
or at friends, family, maybe feeling they're not supportive enough, or even anger at themselves, feeling they fell short somehow.
That sounds incredibly difficult to navigate, both for the person feeling it and for those around them.
It really is.
Hmm.
And the post emphasizes patience, understanding. Remembering these words often come from intense emotion, deep pain, and might not reflect their true, settled feelings.
But patience is hard when someone's lashing out.
Oh, absolutely. It requires understanding that the anger is often like a shield for the hurt underneath. But you also need boundaries. It's okay to say, I hear you're angry, but I can't be yelled at. Validate the feeling, not necessarily the behavior.
Okay, that makes sense. Validate the pain, set a boundary. Got it. Now, what about the really unexpected one you mentioned?
Yes. Relief, peace, or even acceptance.
Relief. That
What?
seems almost taboo to admit feeling when someone dies.
It does, doesn't it? But it's actually quite common, especially when a loved one had a really long illness, maybe suffered a lot.
Or maybe lived a very long, full life.
Exactly. The relief might be that their suffering is over. Or sometimes, frankly, relief that a really demanding caregiving role has ended.
And the key is, just
Yeah.
acknowledge it. Don't judge.
Absolutely. Acknowledge it. Validate it. Don't suggest they should feel sadder or different. That's just judgment, and it's not helpful.
Okay, so this spectrum is huge. Apathy, anger, relief. It covers so much ground. What does this all mean for how we actually support people then, if it's so varied?
Well, the foundation really is accepting that there's just no single right way to grieve, period.
No rule book.
No rule book. And that acceptance, that's what helps build empathy. Some people are very open, others internalize. Some grief is intense, some is more subdued. You have to meet people where they are.
So forget the assumptions. What does the post recommend instead? What are the practical things?
Okay, 3 main things stand out. First, active listening. And that means really listening, not just waiting to talk or trying to fix it, just hearing them.
Just being present. Okay. What else?
Second, and this is really tangible, offering practical assistance. Grief is exhausting. It depletes your energy, your ability to think straight.
So like bringing food.
Yes, or maybe coordinating help from others, running specific errands they mention needing, helping with, I don't know, paperwork, things that lift the burden, not just saying, call me if you need anything, because they probably won't.
All right, that's too vague. Be specific. Okay, and the third principle.
Respecting their individual needs and preferences. If they want space, give space. If they need to talk, listen. Remember, grief is a journey, It's not a destination you just arrive at. It takes time.
A journey, not a destination. I like that.
Yeah.
But sometimes that journey feels overwhelming.
Yeah.
Too much to handle alone. What about getting professional help?
Yeah, that's a really important point the post makes. When is it time?
Mm,
Seeking help from, say, a grief counselor or a therapist. The sources are super clear. That's a sign of strength. It's not weakness.
yes, not weakness. Okay.
These professionals offer specialized support, tools, healthy ways to cope, especially if grief feels stuck or maybe turns into what's sometimes called complicated grief.
So wrapping this up,
Hmm.
understanding all these different phases of grief, from that quiet apathy maybe to the anger, even to relief, it's about shifting our perspective.
Exactly. Moving away from judgment and towards, well, compassionate validation, just accepting the person's reality in that moment.
So here's something to think about then, based on everything we've discussed. If the grief process truly is a unique journey for every single person,
Hmm.
what is one assumption about loss, about how people should grieve, that you are now ready to let go of? We'll be back next time with another thought-provoking exploration of a topic that matters.